Hey there, folks. So, last episode we ended off with our wolf attacking our deer. Uh, no, I stopped. And our deer was taking. Where is he? Deer. And the stat line. And you can see he's taking damage, but it's regenerating a lot quicker than one would expect. And I don't think he's ever hitting the dead state. So what I want to do is I want to add in a health regeneration block as well as sort out the animation for playing a death animation. So what we're going to do here, we're going to just close out of the editor because the first thing we're going to work on is that health regeneration. So we haven't done anything in the stat line for quite some time. So that is where we're going to be starting in here. And I actually want to add in a new function, I think. Health a tick, yeah. Yeah, so just looking at this, I need to do some cleanup here because this needs to be down here. And actually what I want to do is create a function in here for tick health. So we're going to open our statline component header, go to our function section, void tick health. Actually, I'm just going to copy this from the one above. Now we also have, where is our stamina block? What do we actually use for that? Tick stamina, current stamina exhaustion. So, stamina, current bleed, starvation. Well, I want to create this definition. Let's see if it works this time. Current stamina exhaustion. So we're going to create that health regeneration interference. So it's float health float health regen block equals 0. And then we're going to go to our tick health function. So we want to, at the top here, replace health.tick with tick. Actually, I'm going to do this. Tick health delta time. I'm going to copy this out. And then down here, where did it end up? Tick health. And this is going to be pretty much the same way we set up our stamina, which is if health regen is greater than 0. So if health regen block is greater than 0.0, health regen block minus equals delta time, return. Otherwise, we are going to tick our health. Now, we don't need any of this other stuff here, so we're good on that one. But what I do want to do is also add in a function for taking damage, because we are right now, excuse me, we are adjusting the stat, and I'm not a fan of that because it's going to cause some odd behavior. So, well, it's not going to cause some odd behavior. It's going to overcomplicate things. So, U function, blueprint callable, void take health. Actually, I'm just going to say take damage. Const float reference amount. And then we're going to create that definition, and this is going to be health dot adjust 0 minus, we're going to use that same logic, abs amount. And then we're going to go health regen block equals 1. And basically I just want that to be 1 second. Actually, no, I'm going to put that at 0.5, half a second. We'll see how that works. We may want to create a variable for this. So to determine how long it is for taking damage, but yeah, we're good there. Sorry, I'm looking at my notes from the other one. So now what we want to do is back on our character, we just want to go take damage. Okay, so let's build this. And I'm genuinely hoping this is a pretty short episode and I can get this last little bit knocked out. Because then after this, we'll be moving on to... I'm not 100% sure. I'm thinking player equipment. Because that sort of gets us to a point where we're ready. We have NPCs that can run away and attack. We have all of our stats in place. And then now it's just the player being able to attack. So... And at that point, we have the very, very utmost basics of the game's foundation. Now, that's not the full foundation. It's just the utmost basics that you could say, oh, it's a game. Now, there's obviously a lot more to account for with that. Like I said, I want to include location-based damage. I still need to figure out how I want to do a sleep system. A lot, like player sleep. A lot of the time what happens with those is most games sort of just jump the world time around, but things like NPCs don't move around as much, if at all. Sometimes they're just like frozen in place, and then 8 hours later, however long the player sleeps for, the NPC is still where they were. That's something I need to figure out how I want to handle, because obviously if you have human NPCs, they're going to not just stand still for 8 hours. Most animals don't stand still for 8 hours and things like that. So, yep. Apparently I made enough changes because we made some changes to the statline component. This is taking a while to compile, but I'm going to leave this. I'm not going to pause the video because I want to make sure we don't hit those bind events that I had. Because I think we might have in the last attempt, even though I thought that was the solution. So. But yeah, so if this is all working in this episode, well, and we can get the play death animation and the is dead is returning true and everything correctly. Like I say, next episode we will probably move on to either some just general project cleanup or the equipment setup. I mentioned the general project cleanup just because there is... what was I going to say? There's some general refactoring. Sorry, brain's just blocked up for a minute there, because things like in here in our stat line component, we have our tick stat function, but we don't check are we dead. If they're dead, well then we can just skip all of this. We don't need to worry about it. We'd actually want to do that within our tick logic. So no, I think we're good. That bind worked. That the check for the is bound. Okay, what is causing this? Okay, I'm gonna have to do some debugging off camera on that one because it's not anything that shows us any real information there. Is it select our deer? Nope. Let's just go deer. Obviously our deer is not responding the way we want them to. You can see, okay, it's hitting 0. and then it's pausing and then it's regenerating. So that is working. So what I want to do is, where is the deer? So I'm just pulling up the deer animation blueprint. So first thing I want to do is, it's going to be a very big spam on the screen, but in the event graph, I want to get our character is dead. That's not what it's called. Is character dead, sorry. Oh, way too much crud on my screen. Is character dead. I'm going to promote to variable, and this is going to be B is dead. And where the spam for this is going to be is, I'm also going to do this, print string. And this is just because I want to register when they're actually dead. Now, idle movement. We go into the actual anim graph, into our main state. We're just going to say dead, and can transition is dead. This is a one-way transition. Do I have a death animation? Yes, we do. Drag in our death animation. Select that. Where is looping? No, that is exactly what we want. So let's see if that is dead is actually ever going to work for us. So we're going to have a spam false in the corner. Taking damage, taking damage. Yeah, they're true. Okay, so you can see everything is in place. Now, obviously, the wolf is failing its is dead check. Animation's playing, it's still moving, so there is still some things we need to deal with regarding animations and stuff there, so, and the AI. So what we're going to want to do there is we need to, as I mentioned, add in some additional checks. So first things first, in our animation graph, okay, we know this is working, so I'm going to add in a branch. Stop active movement. And we're going to see what that does for our NPC. Actually, what I'm going to do for ease as well. So I'm doing this offside. Opening up our deer blueprint here. Stat line, character movement. Sorry, believe no, it was walk. Walk speed is going to be 0. I'm just going to search speed actually. Sprint speed is 0 and sneak speed is 0. I'm setting this so that the deer just stands in place. I want to see, no, because we need to see if that actually stopped the movement. So 100, yeah, those are right. Ignore that. I was going to do something that would completely defeat the purpose of what we were trying to do. What I will do is actually I'm going to change that sprint speed to 100, just so that the wolf can guarantee to catch up. So okay, so the stop active movement worked. All right, and as you can see here, the health is regenerating, the wolf is continuing to attack, and the deer is spazzing out. So, all right. So that part worked. Let's put this back to 600. Compile and save. So let's see. Stop active movement. I think we need to call a function within the code to handle that. So, yeah, okay. So what we're going to do here, we're going to close out. And that's actually what I had here in the comment. Add, that should have been add in. So if is character dead, why is IntelliSense being a pain in my butt? If is character, what is going on? We want to call a new function that we're going to define as sorry, sitting here in silence, avoid character death. And like we did with the apply melee damage, we're going to want to make this virtual. Because the player character is going to have slightly different logic to the NPCs. Sorry, just responding to a message. Give me one moment. All right, so as I was saying, sorry, virtual void character death. Actually, I'm going to change that to on character. No. Character death, character dead, character dead. I'm trying to think. Character death. Yeah, we'll just call it character death. And create that definition. And then we're going to go into our NPC and create that void character death override. And you'll notice last episode we didn't add a U function here, and I'm not doing it last episode before, and I'm not doing it for this either. It's because it's as an override. Let me just go back to here. As an override, it's using this U function. It doesn't actually need its own declaration. If I do this, U function blueprint callable, that should throw an error. Yeah, there we go. Override of U function character death in parent ATF character cannot have a U function. It will use the same parameter as the original. So, okay, so in here we need to do a few things. First one, it's or was that in character I started that? Okay, well, I don't need that one right there. So we're going to go to our NPC. Because what we're wanting to do is stop the behavior tree and stop the controller, because the NPC is now dead. So let's see if this works. And then behavior tree con. So I'm just trying to figure out where the stop behavior tree would be. Actually, might be able to. thinking to myself here, might be able to move this back into no, because the player character is going to have some different logic. So that might be everything we need, actually. I'm just trying to think what all we would need to pass through. So we're stopping movement, we're unpossessing, we're destroying the controller. I think that's everything there. And then... call character death there. Oh, I think we need a function to turn off our stat line as well. Void, no. Void, is dead. I'm just going to set it to that. Not go to create definition. And I'm going to want to clean this up. I'm actually going to do this probably next episode, thinking about it, because we're already at 22 minutes. So, primary component tick dot tick enabled. Oh, where is it? It's in the constructor. That's it. B can ever tick. Primary component tick dot pause. No. I just want to make sure there's not end execute tick, stop tick. I'm looking for a way to just stop the tick. That might be what I want. So, okay, so let's give this a shot. And we're going to see if this does what we need it to do with the wolf running up, hitting the deer, killing the deer, and the deer sort of just falling over and not moving anymore, basically. What I want to do is I'm going to throw a breakpoint here in our stat line. Actually, I never called stat line is dead. So I'm going to throw a breakpoint in there, and then NPC character. Let's go stat line. Get stat line is dead. Oh, yeah. Don't know about stat line component. Include components. is dead. Okay, character death. And then that was in calling character death. This is the override. That is called here if is character dead. I want to throw a breakpoint there. I'm going to throw there because I'm going to throw this in as nope, that'll work. Sorry. I'm trying to do some extra debugging, which I don't really need to do on camera. So but yeah, so anyways, we'll say next episode. I know I was hoping we would start with some of the other stuff, but there's going to be a little bit more cleanup to do around this death process, and then I'm trying to think. There's also a save game to think about there as well. Yeah, so it's probably going to be a little bit before we get to player equipment and the ability for the player to attack. There's a few other things I want to consider and take into account before I move on to the equipment. Because I want to be able to save the skeleton's location, rotation. So you save the game, the deer's still dead on the ground. It's not standing up and then falling over because it was already dead. Things like that. So, and then adding in this death check to the begin play. Yeah, there's a lot to still consider actually. So, what's this going to be? Episode 84. What day is that going to be? Monday. Yeah, this is going to be Thursday's episode. So, yeah, so Friday will probably be some cleanup. And then hopefully by the next episode on that, so the following Monday, yeah, I'm actually not going to make any commitments at this point. I'm not 100% sure. I still need to figure out what breakpoint, what exception's triggering that one. Nope, never set our deer's speed to 0. Okay, so, yeah. So I can get rid of that breakpoint. And let's see if, there we go. So character death has been hit. Okay, so that does look like everything is good there. Obviously, there is still some logic errors with our behavior tree. So let's open that up. Our is target dead function. Okay, so we're setting that to -1. Okay, so no, I see why. So cookie to anyone who notices it, but observer abort, that is the issue. Actually, I want self and self. Save that. Let's try this again. Okay, it's died. Attack validity check. Okay, let's take a look at that one. That is this one. Sorry, I had to go deal with my dog. So, okay, let's step through this. Okay. No, target known. That might be another one we need to do. Yes, we're setting it to attack. Okay, so the issue is here. In our is target dead, we also need to be changing our target known. So owner comp dot get blackboard component set value as bool bbk target known false. So now we're at the 30-minute mark. What I'm going to do here is I'm going to close out of the editor. I'm going to test all of this, and I will be back just to make sure that is actually what we need to be doing. So all right, so that seems to have been most of what we need to do. As you can see, the deer died, and now the wolf is, well, stuck in the attack state, but it's now walking off and trying to do other things. So, well, and then you can see there, it turned around, seen the deer, and went to attack it, and then ran off. So there is obviously still some more things we need to do. So that is what we're going to be spending the next couple of episodes on, is cleaning up things like that. Getting the wolf to go back into its random roam and ignoring the dead deer, things like that. So, as always, folks, thanks for watching. If you have any comments, questions, concerns, suggestions, please feel free to leave them in the comments below. Or you can hop over onto the Discord and ask whatever you want there. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode.